Namaste and welcome back to Typical Monk. Today we learn how air moves in and out, how oxygen and carbon dioxide swap across the alveoli, and how the body carries them. And we will drill it the neat way too, one idea at a time. Here is today's path. 5 stops. First, the respiratory passage from the nostrils to the alveoli. Second, the mechanism of breathing and pressure gradients. Third, respiratory volumes and capacities. Fourth, the exchange and transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide. And fifth, NEET drills, that is, assertion, match, and statement. First, let us follow the path of air. Air runs through a conducting path, external nostrils, then the nasal chamber, pharynx, larynx, and trachea. The larynx is the sound box. While you swallow, the epiglottis covers the glottis, so food never enters the airway. The trachea divides into 2 primary bronchi, then bronchi, bronchioles, and finally the alveoli. The conducting part warms, moistens, and filters the air. The thin-walled alveoli are the real exchange surface. The lungs sit in the thoracic cavity, wrapped in a double pleura. Now let us see the mechanism of breathing. Breathing has 2 steps, inspiration and expiration, driven by pressure differences. In inspiration, the diaphragm contracts and flattens. The external intercostals lift the ribs and the sternum, and so the thoracic volume rises. The larger volume drops the intrapulmonary pressure below atmospheric, and air rushes in. In expiration, the muscles relax, the volume falls, the pressure rises above atmospheric, and air is pushed out. Normal expiration is passive. Now respiratory volumes and capacities. Tidal volume, that is TV, the air moved in or out in one normal breath, about 500 ml. Of and of. The extra air you can forcibly breathe in, about 2,500 to 3,000 ml, or breathe out, about 1,000 to 1,000 ml. Residual volume, that is RAV, the air that always stays in the lungs, about 900 to 1,200 ml. It can never be exhaled. Vital capacity equals TV plus of. Total lung capacity equals BC plus OV. A spirometer measures these. Now the exchange of gases. Exchange is simple diffusion, driven only by partial pressure gradients. No energy is spent. In the alveoli, PO2 is high, that is high R4, and blood PO2 is low, that is 40. So oxygen diffuses into the blood. In the tissues, PO2 is high, that is 45. So carbon dioxide moves into the blood while oxygen unloads into the tissues. Carbon dioxide is about 20 to 25 times more soluble, so it crosses the thin 3-layered membrane far more easily. Now, the transport of gases. Oxygen, about 97%, is carried by hemoglobin as oxyhemoglobin. Only 3% dissolves in plasma. Each EP binds 4 oxygen molecules. The dissociation curve is sigmoid. High PO2 in the alveoli loads oxygen, low PO2 in the tissues unloads it. Low Fi, high PO2, and high temperature, that is in the tissues, shift the curve to the right, more unloading. This is the Bohr effect. Carbon dioxide, about 70% as bicarbonate, 20 to 25% as carbaminohemoglobin, and 7% dissolved. Carbonic anhydrase speeds it up. Now the high yield pointers. The facts need turns into questions. 1. The respiratory rhythm center is in the medulla oblongata. The pneumotaxic center in the pons can moderate it. 2. The chemosensitive area responds to a rise in carbon dioxide and H+ ions, not directly to oxygen. 3. Oxygen, 97% by hemoglobin. Carbon dioxide, 70% as bicarbonate. 4. Memorize the PO2 values. Alveoli alpha, deoxygenated blood, 40, oxygenated blood, 95. 5. Disorders, emphysema, that is alveolar damage and smoking, asthma, that is bronchial inflammation, and occupational ones like silicosis. Now the first drill, assertion and reason. Each time, ask, is it true? Is R true? And does R explain A? First, A. During inspiration, the diaphragm contracts. R. Contraction of the diaphragm increases the volume of the thoracic cavity. Both true, and R explains it correctly. So the answer is A. Second, a carbon dioxide is transported mainly as carbaminohemoglobin. Carbon dioxide is about 20 to 25 times more soluble than oxygen. Here is false, but R is true. So the answer is D. Third, the respiratory rhythm center lies in the medulla oblongata. R, the pneumothoracic center, can reduce the duration of inspiration. Both true, but R does not explain A, so the answer is B. Now, the second drill, match the column. Make the correct pairs. Tidal volume, about 500 ml. Respiratory rhythm center, medulla oblongata. Oxygen is carried mainly by hemoglobin, and carbon dioxide is carried mainly as bicarbonate. Now, the third drill. How many of these statements are correct? Test them one by one. First, residual volume cannot be exhaled, even forcibly. This is correct. Second, normal expiration is an active, muscle-driven process. This is wrong. Third, carbonic anhydrase is present in the red blood cells. This is correct. So the correct statements are two. That is, the first and the third. Now let us clear the mistakes that students fall into. Misconception: the chemosensitive area senses oxygen levels directly. Truth: it mainly senses carbon dioxide and H+ ions. Oxygen has little direct role. Misconception: most carbon dioxide travels bound to hemoglobin. Truth: about 70% travels as bicarbonate in the plasma. Now, test yourself. Think of each answer before it appears. Answer first. That is how you build strong NEET recall. Question 1. Where does gas exchange happen? Answer: in the alveoli. Question 2. The main carrier of oxygen in blood? Hemoglobin. Question 3. Where is the respiratory rhythm center? In the medulla oblongata. Question 4. How much carbon dioxide travels as bicarbonate? About 70%. Question 5. Which volume can never be exhaled? Let us gather it all in one breath. Air travels from the nostrils to the alveoli. The thin alveoli are the exchange surface. Inspiration, the diaphragm and external intercostals contract. Volume rises, pressure falls. Gas exchange is diffusion along partial pressure gradients at the alveoli and the tissues. Oxygen 97% by hemoglobin, carbon dioxide 70% as bicarbonate. The rhythm center is in the medulla. The chemosensitive area senses carbon dioxide and H+ ions. Next class, body fluids and circulation, blood, the heart, and the cardiac cycle. See you there. You now know how every breath works, gas by gas. One idea at a time, calm and steady, and you will crack NEET. This is Typical Monk. Every class, always free.